Richard, all three markets in the Triad are unique. We have to look at all of them independently. We have employees that are based in each of those communities. And Winston-Salem is just important to us as High Point or Greensboro. As we look at our strategic plan and how we want to be involved, we commit dollars to support each of those communities independently. We look at our employee engagement, and we're involved across all of those markets. I look back over the last 5 years, and we've given away over $5.6 million across all three communities. And that's pretty well divided across three markets. And I look at how our clients interact with us. We look at our financial centers independently. We've got a huge concentration of employees in the Guilford County market just as a result of an operations center that we have there. So if you look at 1,550 employees across all three communities, we are largely centered in Guilford County because of that High Point Operations Center. But we are spread over all three communities and really delivering the nonprofit arena, whether we're involved in community boards and those nonprofits. We like to intersperse in each of those communities to be engaged with our leadership as well as our nonprofit dollars that we contribute.
And then, obviously, Charlotte and Raleigh or the Triangle have emerged as the two leading economic engines in North Carolina. And the Triad has tried its hardest to keep up in third place. So how, given the demands that you face in Charlotte and the demands that you face in the Triangle for meeting customer demand and business demand and things like that, how do you feel like the Triad is carving out its presence within Bank of America, in terms of importance?
The Triad will always be one of our most important markets. NCNB, which is our predecessor institution, was headquartered dually in Charlotte and Greensboro. As a result, we've got that large operations center that sits on Piedmont Parkway in High Point. That presence allows us to really gain much more exposure from a corporate-wide position. We have folks that come into our market quite frequently internally, but we also invest in this market to a greater degree than we invest in other markets across our platform. We've got 92 markets across our country, and as a result of the presence that we've had over a period of time, I believe that we've got a strong commitment to the Triad, strong commitment to all three markets within the Triad.
And then, like we were mentioning, with Truist now headquartered in Charlotte and Wells Fargo having a major operation in Charlotte, no longer having a presence here with Wachovia and Winston-Salem, it seems like this marketplace in terms of deposit and customers is probably as wide open as it's been in decades, 30 some years. So how do you feel like Bank of America can gain ground in this market?
Growing responsibly is our goal. We would like to continue to grow responsibly within our risk framework and provide resources to make the lives of our clients, the financial lives of our clients, better in this community. Over the last 2 years, we've seen our deposit base here in the Triad alone increase $1 billion. I think we're doing some really positive things. You look at our brick and mortar facilities that are here, that's one way we serve our clients. But another way that we invest and reach the needs of that same client is to provide a digital platform that meets their needs. So the investments that we've made in technology certainly seem to be resonating. That $1 billion that we've seen over 2 years, growth during a pandemic, is sizable. And it's enabled us to grow our market share here in the Triad from 7th to 3rd. And so we're obviously doing some things very, very well. I think our wealth platform is extremely strong as a result of the advisors that we have with both Merrill Lynch as well as with our private bank platform. That advisory service is very, very strong and continues to offer a resource that is needed within the community.
And then the last question for this, you were talking about the digital reach. explain how you felt like that, where that shift came from. Was it more from customer demand? Was it more of people recognizing the availability of what was on the platform? And to mention what you were talking about, in some ways, people, because of the pandemic and working from home and having limited mobility, were sort of forced into adapting to the digital. So where do you feel like all that kind of blended together for y'all?
So, digital transformation is really an evolution over a period of time. When you look at generationally the transition, my children, they've never gone into a banking center. They don't know how to write a check. They know transfer of money on digital platform and an ATM. My parents in that generation, they don't use the phone very well. And so the pandemic over the last 2 years has really forced an older generation to transition to a mobile or a digital platform much quicker. So we've seen that growth evolve much faster than it was the prior 5 years prior to the pandemic. So you see an older generation and a much more broad universe of folks transitioning to that digital platform, where today we see 90% of our clients interacting with us digitally and 85% of all deposits being made done through a digital platform or an ATM.